Oh man, good morning. So in the typical Overlanderoos fashion, we rolled in late at night during a thunderstorm. So kind of in a scramble to set things up, we didn't get a chance to film, and I apologize for that, but we are back out into Ocala in the Prairie that we stayed at the Florida Adventure Trail. We just fell in love with this place. It is beautiful. It's absolutely gorgeous, and as I'm saying that, I'm looking around at the Prairie itself and all the wildlife and birds flying around, so hopefully I can capture that for you guys. But man, it's just something super peaceful about this place. But let me tell you what's going on, because it's not our usual camping trip. We're not going to hit any epic trails. We're not going to explore really any trails out here. On our fridge is hanging a color chart, and if you're familiar with those, they have little bubbles that my wife and the girls fill out every time something happens. And we have one labeled 1,000 hours outside, and we started that one almost a year ago. We're not quite at a year, but the idea behind it is to get 1,000 hours outside in 1 year, and we are capping that off. We are right about there with this trip. I believe we need about 24 more hours, and so we decided we're going to come out to Ocala for 2 nights. We're going to camp on the Prairie. It is hot. We will endure, but it is hot. And we have some thunderstorms to contend with, so we're going to make some on-the-fly decisions here. But last night's we hit coming in, and it was pretty bad, but and it presented such a cool rainbow before it got dark. And tonight around 4 or 6 we're supposed to have another possibly severe. So we have the WeBoost. We're kind of keeping up on the weather. We'll make a judgment call well before it gets here. But we spent the night here last night, like I said. And, I got my coffee. It is the morning. Man, what a peaceful sleep last night. But yeah, so we are just gonna hang out. We're gonna put the hammocks up. We're gonna read books. We're gonna play Uno. We're gonna be a family in the woods and just enjoy each other's company. And the other aspect of this camping trip is to utilize some of the lessons learned from the Florida Adventure Trail. So our setup and our takedown is good, but it can get better, right? So it can take less time to do those things and less effort. So we're going to employ some of those practices and kind of do a dry run before we hit the trail again on Labor Day weekend. So this will allow us to see if those things that we think are going to work are actually going to work, and so we're not testing them out with a group of 9 other people waiting on us, and who wants to be the last one to pack up. So this should be a good experiment for that. But man, this is going to be a little bit different than what you're probably used to, but this is a good chance for us to just relax. Might be time to make some breakfast. All right, breakfast was delicious. We just had some egg whites, some potatoes, some peppers, some onions, and just kind of mixed it all together, and that was a good meal. Now that breakfast is out of the way, we checked the weather. We got some storm clouds rolling in, but the weather says it's not supposed to be here until 3 or 4, and that's going to be a pretty big storm. So we're going to make a decision as it gets a little closer. We may start packing up around noon 30, just in case this gets a little weird. But I think we're going to stick it out for as long as we can, and if the storm kind of skirts by us like it typically does out here, then we're going to stick out here and stick it out another night. If it hits hard, like the weather's kind of indicating it might, we may skedaddle on out of here. But we'll still have accomplished our 1,000 hours outside goal, which is huge for us, and so that's a big deal. So right now we're just kind of hanging out by the prairie. We got people in hammocks reading books and hanging out and just relaxing, and that is fantastic, and that is where I'm going to be headed here shortly. Just going to relax and just have a good time out here for as long as possible. You guys are staring at each other. Hide behind trees and stuff. So we were able to get our makeshift awning up, and we're in it for about $30 to $40 between the Harbor Freight canvas tarp and the Amazon awning poles. It's great for shade. It allows us to kind of get out of the direct sunlight and be able to have a place to cook, prepare, and eat, and play cards without getting roasted alive by the sun. Definitely need 2 people to set it up. It's a little tricky with 1, but maybe if you're super talented with wicked long arms, you can probably make it work. I don't have those things, and I'm not, so we weren't able to. Kaylin definitely helped there. I'll link them in the description below so you guys can pick those up too. It's a good intermediary step between a full-blown awning and nothing at all. So we like that stuff, and hopefully you guys find some value in those cheaper but effective options.
don't think we're in this green anymore.
So we've been talking a little bit about 1,000 hours outside and what that means for our family and for the girls. And So Kaylin knows more about it than I do. I'm just kind of the support system for her for this this adventure she's on with the girls and racking up that time. So I'll kick it over to her and let her tell you about what the 1,000 Hours Outside is and kind of the point of why we're doing it with our family and where we're at with this.
Yeah, if you don't know our backstory, we have been homeschooling since the fall of 2020. And so I've been in a bunch of Facebook support groups trying to just get a handle on how all of that should look. And I found 1,000 Hours Outside. And in this current environment, most kids are sitting in front of tablets for or screens in general for about 1,000 hours a year. And so this specific group is challenging people to spend that 1,000 hours outside instead of in front of their screens and tablets. And just to let you know, we are not anti-screen. We use screens, we encourage them in the right environment, but we just wanted to challenge ourselves to see if we could reach those 1,000 hours. And we are coming up on the end of that on Wednesday. Our 1 year is up on Wednesday. So I begged Brad to bring us out to the woods so that we could get our last 20 hours in and check that box. So
didn't take much convincing.
No.
any chance we get out here, we take it.
Yes, and camping definitely knocks off a lot of hours in a short period of time. So yeah, so here we are. And we are about to complete our 1,000 hours in about 3 hours. So nice. I'm very excited.
Where can we find more information?
There is a Facebook group, 1,000 Hours Outside. There is a website, 1,000 Hours Outside. The numbers 1000 hoursoutside.com. And then there is also an Instagram group. So all over the web, you know, go screen free and find them on the screens.
We'll link it in the description below so you guys have an easier time finding it. But I highly encourage you, I challenge you, if you don't have kids, even if it's just you and your wife or just you, take this challenge on, go get 1,000 hours outside and you know, kind of break away from the monotony of inside and looking at the screens and looking at television and watching YouTube channels. But I mean, stick with our channel, but you can break away from that, go outside, enjoy some sunlight and some nature, and I think you'll find that it won't disappoint. That's all she wrote. Unfortunately, this ended up being like an 18-hour trip out here. Not what we had originally planned, but it ended up being what it is. The weather is rolling in. We jumped on the WeBoost, checked the weather, and it is going to be a really bad storm right where we are. So we made the call. We packed up camp kind of in a hurry. I don't know if you can tell, but it's coming. We're going to get out of here. We're going to go head home, but you'll be thrilled to find out, I'm sure, that we have met our 1,000 hours outside. We did it. We capped off this year with 1,000 hours outside for the girls, not with screens, and I'm super excited about that, and I'm going to try to talk Kaylin into doing another one. We'll see how she feels about it. She's shaking her head behind the camera, no. But I challenge you guys to get out there, get your 1,000 hours. We're really sad, really bummed that we have to leave. This is a beautiful campsite, and if you're in the Florida area, come check out Hopkins Prairie. You'll love it. It's on the Florida Adventure Trail. It is a fantastic site. The breeze blows through, the bugs aren't too bad, but hopefully I showed you guys enough of kind of what a not trail riding camping trip for us looks like, and you guys can get out there too. Hey, if you like this type of content, I'd really appreciate it if you would like and subscribe, share it with your friends, kind of help us build this community. It's for you guys. We want to get back to you. I can't wait to see you guys on the trail.